What is going on, everybody? So tonight we're going to be taking a look at all One Piece booster boxes that have released so far, and we're going to be looking at their secondary market data. We're going to be seeing what happened in terms of the box price on TCG Player, but then we're going to be looking at how many boxes are on the open market, aka eBay, under a 20% leg up to try and get a better idea of are any of these boxes going to be moving in the short term? So we can start off with Romance Dawn Blue Bottoms, which are up this week to $1,222.09 on TCG Player, slightly up. These boxes are slowing down, unfortunately, but still a decent move from 1,000 up to 1,200 over the past month or so. So nothing to scoff at. But on eBay, a 20% increase would be $1,466.51. There's two boxes listed below that, zero sales in the past 7 days, which means we really can't get a good idea of how many days of inventory are remaining. Now the white box, a little bit different story, $418.96. That is up this week. Decent growth there. 20% increase would be about $503. There are 30 booster boxes listed on eBay below this number, selling at 0.71 boxes per day. And that gives you 42.25 days of remaining inventory. So don't expect Romance Dawn to be moving up again anytime soon unless we see an increase in demand on some of these boxes. Again, One Piece boxes sell fairly slowly compared to Pokemon and some other card games. So especially these older sets that are more expensive, this box isn't going to be moving too fast anytime soon. That's just my opinion based on what I'm looking at. Now, next up, we have Paramount War, which I believe was down this week a little bit to $220.15. There are 105 boxes of supply below 274 USD, selling at 0.86 boxes a day, which is decent, but that's still 122.09 days of inventory before a 20% leg up. So again, I've been saying this for weeks now. OPO2 and OPO3, which we'll look at here in a second, this is dead money. Do not expect these boxes to be moving up anytime soon. And we'll talk about OPO4 in a second. Pillars of Strength, just to touch on it. I kind of already touched on it, but 220.56 down slightly this week. 43 boxes of supply, but only selling at 0.29 boxes per day. So a much lower rate there compared to your White Bottom Romance Dawn and to your Paramount War, which kind of makes sense. I would put OPO1 and OPO2 in front of OPO3, so it is selling a bit slower, but that's still a very high number there, about 150 days. And again, this might not be super accurate. This sales volume could pick up over the next week or two, but again, there's just too much out there right now that I would not be looking at this box as a solid investment in the short term. Long term, that's a different story, but don't expect this to climb to 300 out of nowhere. Now, next up, we have OPO4, Kingdoms of Intrigue. This box is continuing to climb up to around $190.43. Last week, I believe it was about $180, so up about $10 this week. 20% increase would be about $229. Only 13 boxes, booster boxes listed on eBay below that 20% leg up, and they're selling at 2 a day, 14 sales in the past 7 days. That's only 6.5 days of inventory remaining on Kingdoms of Intrigue. Keep an eye on this. Now, this could change, and I imagine we'll see this slow down a little bit. I don't expect this to just go nuclear up to like 250, 260, but maybe just based on how much is out there right now on the market, this could climb into that 220, 230 range and get pretty close to Paramount War and Pillars of Strength over the next couple weeks. So keep an eye on Kingdoms of Intrigue. Definitely a change there from last week where we had a decent sell-through rate, 20 boxes on the market. So this week, only 13. I mean, there is much less out there of Kingdoms of Intrigue. Next up, OPO5, the big one, Awakening Out of the New Era, up to $283.43. I've been telling you guys for weeks now to buy OPO5, the set. The Luffy's in there. Just great cards. I believe you also have the Law and some other cards. So a very strong set there. 20% increase would be $340.12. 34 boxes on eBay listed below that number, selling at 1.43 boxes a day. That's 23.78 days of inventory remaining. That's a pretty healthy margin right there. I don't think that we're going to see these boxes climb to 300 anytime soon. I think we're going to see them steadily climb over the weeks, maybe a couple dollars, but next week, this box isn't going to be $300, more than likely, guys. So don't expect that type of growth in the short term, but keep an eye on OPO5. Definitely good to see that it is continuing to climb and people are starting to recognize how good of a set it is. Now, next up, we have OPO6, Wings of the Captain, down a little bit this week to $139.67. When we look at the inventory remaining here, we only have 14 boxes on the market, selling at 1.29 boxes per day. That gives you about 10.85 days of remaining inventory, which is quite low for One Piece standard. So keep an eye on Wings of the Captain. I think this is a box that could probably move into that 150, maybe even 160 range here fairly shortly. Again, I don't think it should really be this cheap. The fact that OPO 7's up to about $120, yeah, I think OPO 6 should probably have another little leg up here shortly. EBO 1 after that, 309.42 this week, continuing to level out a little bit, coming down off its high of around $330. 20% leg up would be 371. Only 8 boxes listed below that on eBay, selling 0.57 boxes per day. That's about 14 days of inventory. Again, this box, I don't think it's going to climb crazy anytime soon, but there really just aren't that many boxes out there in North America listed on the secondary market. Like really, all it would take to manipulate a box like EBO1 or even the Blue Bottom Romance Dawn is someone to come in with like $10,000-$15,000 and just buy out the boxes on eBay, relist them for $500, and they could try and manipulate it. I think at that point you'd have people come out of the woodwork and put up their boxes, but there really just are not that many, guys. I really need to drive that home just because people think that there's endless supply out there of some of these, but it doesn't seem like that's the case on a few of these boxes. Next up, OP07, 500 years in the future. This is the waifu set, up to $118.07 this week. 20% increase would be $141.68. Only 25 boxes listed. Again, not a huge amount. Selling at 1 per day. That's 25 days of remaining inventory before leg up. Next up, Two Legends OP08. I've been saying for weeks at this point that this box is dead money. And it was up a little bit, sure, that's great. But 223 boxes of supply on the secondary market below a 20% leg up. Even selling at 1.57 boxes per day, that's 142 days of inventory before we see this box get into that 115, 120 range. And people could add more boxes as well. So this is just not a great investment in the short term. Long term either, I just don't think it's great. You really just don't have that many cards in there. I think if you're going to invest for the long term, go for the stronger sets, guys. Next up, PRB 01, the premium booster, down slightly this week. Not too much there. 20% leg up would be 337.46. There's 20 boxes on eBay listed below that number, selling at 1.29 per day. That's about 15 and a half days of inventory remaining on the secondary market. That's a fairly low amount as well. So keep an eye on PRBO1. We could see this box continue to climb towards that $300 price point. Next up, we have OPO9 Emperors in the New World. This is probably my favorite set out right now, up to $190.74 this week, 190.55 in the chart. I did take these numbers earlier in the day on TCG Player, and I think they update multiple times per day. So that's why there might be a few cents off, but this set is continuing to climb. I mean, look at this graph. We look at like a 3-month chart, even a 6-month chart is going to look pretty decent. So this box is just going nuclear. We're getting close to $200 on it. There's only 57 boxes of supply on the secondary market below 228.66, selling at 1.43 boxes per day, which is down from last week, I believe. Let me go double check. Yeah, last week, 2.14 boxes per day. So there's about 40 days of inventory remaining for Emperors in the New World. And this kind of makes sense. I don't think this box is going to jump to like 200, 220, 230 anytime soon, but we're going to see steady growth on this until there is eventually a reprint, if there is a reprint, I guess. But I think most people are anticipating that we see an OPO9 reprint this year. And then finally, we have OP10 Royal Blood up to $102 this week. So that's quite a jump from last week. And this box is kind of all over the place. 20% leg up, 122.40. There's a ton of supply out there, still 296 boxes listed below that threshold, selling at 2.43 per day, which is the highest out of any box right now. Makes sense. It is the newest set out, but EBO2 will be coming out in a couple days. So the next time we do this next week, I will have EBO2 on the list. But that's 121.81 days of inventory. So a lot of inventory out there for Royal Blood still. Don't expect this box to go crazy anytime soon. And there really just aren't that many great cards in it. There's some decent cards, don't get me wrong. Some cards that I personally really like, but no massive chase. And for that reason, it's just not going to be the best investment long term. So Royal Blood, Two Legends, Paramount War, Pillars of Strength, these sets, I've been saying it for weeks at this point, just dead money. They won't be moving much. Kingdoms of Intrigue, surprisingly though, it could still move up. It really could move into that 220 range quickly. Outside of that, I think you have to look at something like Wings of the Captain to maybe make a move into that 150, 160 range. And then everything else, just expect slow, steady growth over time. Nothing is jumping off the screen at me right now that makes me think that we're going to see these boxes go nuclear. So another week in One Piece. Stable, slow gains. That's how I like it. Shameless plug to end the video. If you guys do want to get access to this spreadsheet, link in the description down below. It's got the One Piece booster boxes and then also a bunch of different access to Pokemon products there. Also, I have consultation call links in the description as well. I've had a couple people reach out already. If you need help setting up a YouTube channel, you're looking to start one for your business, if you're looking to get into One Piece or Pokemon investing, want help figuring out where to allocate your funds right now, definitely feel free to reach out and I'll make sure to help you as much as possible. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.